welcome to Beer Tent Breakdowns here.
Get your camera, mate.
On, sorry, I'm looking at myself. Welcome to Beer Tent Breakdowns here at the Cheshire Showground. I am here with Orin and Georgina from Childs. Both
Correct.
of you. I called you Scots the other day.
It did not go unnoticed. Did you see the laser lock as it was going on?
From Section 89. And of course, on my right, I have Tom Kilroy and Annette Rush from the team of Just Wing It.
My hair is really bad.
We have had a mega mission to get to this point, which we're not going to go into, but we are definitely need a behind the scenes camera crew next. And yeah, so guys, how are we all?
Who are you talking to?
Any of you? If you want to speak up.
Well, we'll talk, I suppose, this side. Hi, camera. Yeah, I'm good. Good season so far. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. In general.
How's so you kind of lead in the championship? Any real challenges?
I mean, we've had a few. TNT coming back into the championship really spiced it up for us, I think, and it's really pushed us. Like.
I think we have had to start racing now.
Yeah, I see your little. You get this thing as a horse rider and a competitor where you're like, I'm not doing it, it's too hard, it's too difficult, and then TNT go and do this excellent run, and then this little thing just pricks up on your head. It's like the heckles of a dog, and you're like, I'm going to go out and fight now, and that happens every time.
Yeah, I mean, I won't run unless I have to run. Like yeah.
I feel the same way. Like, and I think George and Orin will agree. Like, as a boarder, and I'm sure it's the same for the horse riders, that if there's not the incentive there, why do you want to go at stupid speed?
No.
And I think
without earning something.
I think, you know, from the beginning of the season, that was one of the sort of like the problems, was that everybody was kind of very comfortable in their positions. People were going out, putting their times down. No one was really challenging the times. And the first few heats of the season, possibly even the first 6 heats, were I wasn't excited by them. And then things started getting a lot more relevant, and TNT really lit a fire in your category. How are you guys getting on? Because obviously there's been a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation, and you know, from our point of view, there's all the elements there, all the class, all the ability, but it's just pulling that together.
I mean, I think to start with, this is the first event we've come to where we haven't had an issue getting here. So, it's a bit of work.
We're here now.
It's a good start. Yeah. It's been an interesting year for us. I mean, last year went quick. And obviously we went from never touching a board or horseboarding to getting up to a semi-decent level. And like you said, there was that
up to
sort of
30 miles an hour at Sanrium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic, one of the best runs of the season, and yeah, it was a great moment.
Thanks. I think that almost made it more pressure for us, because what we didn't want is to come in and everyone think it was a fluke run, because you do get those 1 in a million runs that happens, and we didn't want to turn up to this season and be that team that just had it once. And it's been quite nice. I think you'll probably agree that we've been able to come into this season and sort of go back to where we originally started in building and just going, right, we're running our own races again and let's figure it out. And unfortunately, I think there's a bit more attention on the mistakes we make because we're doing it at speed. So because we went through that first season on a fast learning curve, we're now learning the mistakes and the problems just at pace, so you notice it a bit more, we think.
And it's not even mistakes at pace or anything like that, it's getting the horse fit and sound and keeping the horse fit and sound.
You've had a real issue with that this year, haven't you? Not only being sound, but like there's been little things that have changed.
Yeah,
like
so
all
we've noticed that she struggled more with the weave, and she wasn't unsound, but she wasn't quite right, so we've made loads of changes to her, just to her daily maintenance more than anything. And actually, the step up from a horse in advanced to elite is quite impressive.
It's
Really.
quite significant, isn't
Yeah.
it? More than you think.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
with that increased length for one, but they're running a lot faster pace for a lot longer, and then the technical difficulty of it, and ultimately there's a lot more to think about in the technical element as well as just blacks going for it. But what's been really good, I think, is because we've had the video footage so quickly, we've been able to watch it this time straight away and go, that's what's going on. So George highlighted, was it after the last event where you
Bowwood.
Bowwood.
Yeah.
Yes. We watched the footage back pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
And going through the chicane, it was, she is ever so slightly, she's not weak, she's a very strong horse, but she's ever so slightly weak when it comes to the flying changes. So each flying change gets ever so slightly longer because she's pushing forwards,
Yeah.
not coming up and changing.
Yeah.
She's pushing.
Is that
forward
because
and
I
change.
noticed when we talk about that race at Sandringham, I noticed that when you were going through the chicane, that she came around the first cone and then accelerated into the second cone, and then is that she's thinking in racehorse mentality of I've got to go forward and fast rather than trying to think about feet.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
No, it purely is she is learning. She's learning the course. She's learning how to use her legs. And in that flying change, so the chicane, so that she comes into the chicane, and then each stride gets bigger each time because she's pushing forwards instead of collecting and coming up.
Right.
Is that then?
Hence why she speeds
Yeah.
up through it.
Yeah, is that creating then some issues for you getting through? I mean, the ones you get are clean as.
Yeah.
But then that is going to then start creating an extra pull for you as you come through because it's not consistent as you get it.
I definitely, because we were going through the chicane and the weave, and each time we were like watching it back, and I'm like, I feel like we're accelerating. And I was saying to George, it's like,
well, we are.
I was like, yeah, I was like, it feels like I'm getting pulled faster through it because I'm having to really work, and I'm watching the other teams go through, and I'm like, it just looks like they're just carving through, and I'm like, what's going on? And then when we figured this out, it's like, no, it's because I am accelerating.
Yeah.
So like going into the technical element, it's getting faster as we go through, and it's fine. You just need to know it and how to manage it, and then as she gets stronger, then we can reduce that.
I will
effect.
just
I mean-
so everyone knows. I mean, I can see on the screen Miro's doing a load of weird stuff for us. But there is a conversation happening on YouTube at the moment.
Okay. Questions, comment,
Yes,
like,
that's
subscribe.
Yeah.
Let's have those in.
Well, it's two people. It's Super Dan and Miro talking to each other.
Oh, okay.
But Super Dan, yes, it is the Bruco lorry that we're working in. So.
And on that bombshell, on that note, actually, if we can have the Joe, our producer, there, if you could drop the Bruco advert, and we'll show you a little bit about one of our sponsors.
Stop the podcast.
Yeah.
Not them, me. Right. Right. So we've got a new commenter called G. It might be George Evans, I don't know. But hi G, that's all you said. So back to, you wanted to say something actually about the...
A question about the flying changes or
Oh,
observation.
no, I was just going to say, so when I first brought Harry in, he couldn't fly and change whatsoever. Like, he had no idea how to change his leg. But as, well, what's this now? His second season, he's just learned learned to do it. And
When we first started,
well, it was only a half season when he came in. He came in at Bowood.
It's this
Same
year
size.
where he's really started pulling us, as a team, he's pulling us into the weave. Like, you're fighting him, we're coming around and he's pulling your head down, you're like, whoa, and he's wanting to get into that as fast as he can.
One of the things that I've noticed with Harry, and I think we saw it last event, maybe the event before, I think it was the event before, he was starting to weave like Winston and actually doing his changes through the cones. So he's actually taking a stride in the middle of the cone and then doing a flying change around the cone and then doing the same under the one. He did a couple of 3 like that, and he's getting the Winston weave.
It's the Winston
That's
weave.
cool.
So we are called Beer Tent Breakdowns. Everyone can see that we've got beer. Now, none of these companies yet sponsor us. So what are we all drinking? What are you drinking, George? What's it like? Is it nice? Do you even know? Do you care?
I mean, I have a Budweiser. I like it. I would drink another.
Are you sure?
I don't believe it.
How many is it that you need to drink before you know that you like it a lot?
You basically have shares with them, so.
Budweiser, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of 10, how would you rate a Budweiser lager?
Out of lager,
Yeah.
10.
Really?
Budweiser is
big,
my
that's-
favourite lager, 100%.
Rogue.
Very sweet.
Mr.
Yeah.
Charles?
I'm
I'm wondering if there's divorce papers coming now after that. But,
Oh no.
I can't really speak.
Very fickle is Tom.
I'm on the Perlenbacher, the Lidl's finest.
nothing wrong with a little finest.
It's like £1.10 a bottle, and it's basically a pint. It's not a bad drop. I would
Okay.
say. It's not a bad drop. Yeah.
Yeah, San Miguel's.
10.
Yeah, but
Probably a 7.5. It's
7.5.
for value for money. It's up there. Horseboarding weekend. It's top notch, but it's not. It's definitely not the best pint.
Okay. Brainchild, Fowler
San
Prime.
Miguel.
Yeah. Out of 10.
As far as lager goes, it's one of my more favourite ones.
That's not a number.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, 10 I guess, this is all boring.
Okay. Well, now we're on this side of the table. What?
I've gone for the Bud.
Okay, you're on a buzz
Yeah.
one. Are you giving it a
I'm giving it a 9 today.
Strong
Okay.
for the bud today.
10? Yeah.
It's only a 9 because I'm having to drink it out of a plastic cup, not the bottle.
I'm drinking.
So.
Like a real lady.
What's
I'm drinking Cruz Campo. I don't know how to say it. I don't know where it's from. It's tasty. I give it a solid 7.
I think Peretti's.
And with that bombshell, let's talk about the big revelation of the weekend, or the season maybe, that
I'm happy.
it's what we can now reveal is that Aidan Beamish, Guinness World Record holder Aidan Beamish, 2023 board rider champion, is going to be boarding with Lloyd Crabb and Paddy.
Yeah.
Lloyd Crabb, of course, 2022 horse rider champion,
I was only a standing boarder apparently.
and Paddy, who's done international. So they've basically all been on the international squad, and this is an exciting weekend.
Well, with that, shall we've got it actually keyed up. Shall we go and watch a run from 2022?
One of your most favourite videos.
Yeah, it's me. Boarding. So this is what I like to do. But shall we watch their video, limited edition, 2022, so people understand what the team.
I'd like to give it a little bit of context as well. So before this happened, the reason, because when you look at the speeds and you hear the commentary, the speeds aren't the max speeds that we would previously, we've previously talked about, or that you would experience visiting a horseboarding event. But what made this race so impressive is that the ground had been breaking up over the course of the weekend. It ended. Ross Towner ended his season. He had a really big crash. There was a couple. It was very sandy. But in the few races before you went out, the important thing is that I think the 3 before you got out, each board rider had crashed. So when you went out, when the limited edition went out, and they go and you'll see the video. The crowd were like, nobody's going to try and do this any faster. So when they went out and they saw them going faster than anybody else down that opening straight. This is the last race of the weekend. The crowd went wild for it. So that's why this race is so important, because it was scary to watch.
Well, with that, let's go.
Can they are 0.71 seconds. 0.71 seconds behind top and tails, the leaders of this heat. If they win this heat, limited edition, if they win this heat, it will not affect the points over the weekend enough that top and tails will lose the cup. But it will add extra points to their championship title. So it's very important that they get as many points as they can. They're currently walking away from this heat with 9 points. They want to walk away with 10.
And this run, they're going to want to hear you scream and get them round this course. This is a big opening run.
Oh my goodness, that's fast.
24.
And it's going in. Oh my god, my word. I can barely
So you see him as he comes across the middle. I'm shouting slow. He takes his hand off the bloody rein. Look.
Look at the crowd. Now the sand kicking up everywhere. This is coming round for the split time.
Split time. 25 seconds. They are well up on the split.
It's just going to not crash. What do you want? The heat or the top split? We've been waiting all weekend. They've put some great races. Now, can they get through this clean?
This is very hard of and it's getting him a big little run top sliding through that last cone.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final lap of horseboarding here this weekend, so let me hear you scream! This team is coming all the way home into the speed trap at 24 miles an hour. They're going to get the fastest time of the weekend in the Pacific Coast. All the finish line, all the way. Let's hear it! Limited edition, what a run! Amazing run! And they can do that. If they can do that on this course, if you could hear the commentary.
I've just got a time in my magical era. I believe 6:0.50.
Oh, you got to hear the... There we go.
And
Are
we're
we
back.
on? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
we're back.
Can you hear us? Okay, so fantastic race there. We have a couple of comments as we were watching that, which you may or may not have heard. We don't actually know.
It's the first time. It's the first.
We are testing some technology here.
that is true.
Tom, you had a few you saying about that?
Yeah, I was saying like that run was. I mean that's when I 2022 racing with limited edition my side, and that was like where the team made a stamp, like a proper stamp. But that ground. The conversation me and Lloyd had before was, what do we want to do? We weren't winning. We weren't winning the weekend. We were looking at a long championship, and that's Miro's end of the meeting. Sorry, we are live, but anyway. But we had a long championship ahead, and it was like, right, let's take the points, because we didn't know how close this would get. And at that point, when you're not going to win, you're not doing anything, you're in that heat, what do? Do you do a foundation run and take things
On
back?
the last run of the weekend.
Or do you just go balls to the wall and see what happens? Now, Lloyd had said, look, everyone's crashed, like you said, in that middle bit. It was a sand pit. And I've never ridden the outside before at this point. And I was like, I tell you what, you ride your line, I'm going to ride as far out as I can and see what happens. And we went around the first corner, and the board was just trying to flick me onto my toes all the way around. I think it came up onto 2 wheels. and then every bit of that track was just sand where the boarder's digging in, it wants to stop. The only thing that got me as a boarder through it, while Lloyd's not paying attention at all to what I'm doing, shouting at him, slow down across the diagonal, and he's taking a call to the crowd. Like the audio, you guys would have heard it, as we come through the chicane, you hear in the background Amy Richards go, Jesus Christ! Like that, because we went into that chicane, I've never gone into a chicane that fast.
It was a crazy run, and the crowd as well they kind of ran away with it at that point. The like as commentators, me and Aidan at the time normally were geeing them on, and Aidan was giving them a bit of geeing on, but I kind of felt like we were chasing the crowd because they were just like that was the one where we stole the show.
You mean you were pretending that it was you guys doing it?
Yeah.
And then just saying the stuff. So an organizer was watching, they're like, oh, these commentators are great.
Yeah, basically that was the thing. So, I mean, what is your take from that?
I mean, slightly separate but the same. I think we both are really. I'm really excited to watch Aidan board.
Yeah.
Like he has done as well as everyone has, but he's done a lot for us in like that mentorship of like how to build the team and how to progress and where we can work on, and he's been really useful. But so to watch him come out the commentary box and get back in the pits that's going to be cool. I think
what exciting.
I mean, I was chatting to him today, and he was like, "Well, I've kind of got to put my money where my mouth is now, haven't I?" But I don't think it'll take him long to get back.
No, and you got to think that really, if you're that team, you're coming in. Yes, you've got all the elements, but it's a bit of a shakedown.
Yeah.
You just want to blow off the cobwebs and stuff. But also,
you've got to
they're
be stand down.
competitive races. Do you know what I mean?
And usually Cheshire is quite a big course, right? They've come into an event where the course is, if the full dimensions of the arena is 70 by 109.1 specifically.
Okay.
And then you take 12 metres off that, you're working at now a 97 metre wide. You then break that down even further from inside cone to inside cone, because there's 8 metres to the first gate, 4 metres that side. You're now looking at 77. You've got an arena that is built basically in the dimensions of a box. But that is technical. And we walked around it.
We walked it today. And
tell us your thoughts, because I built it, so I'm biased on my thoughts. So tell us your thoughts on the course that's coming on.
So we had a little walk round. I mean, you can tell from a horse point, but from like a border perspective, I think what you've done with the additional gates is clever. So it pushes you onto certain lines, which I think is going to protect the course because it stops you going in at sharp angles. I think it will keep the speed up, which is going to be important because I don't think there's the length and the sharpness of the turns is going to keep the speed down. So I think keeping it up wherever you can is good. But it looks like it's going to be gate. So as soon as you go around that start, you come all the way around for the elites in the array, do the weave, and then you're back onto the bottom corner to then cut across to the 90. As soon as you go through that 90, if you count the gates and the speed you're going to be going, it's going to be probably around about a gate every half second.
Wow.
It is a bit mental.
And it, literally, honestly, because the additional gates as well, all the way through the chicane, through the 4 cones, through the additional gate, across through the weave, and then all the way back, you're going to have to be looking so far ahead as a boarder, and I guess as a rider as well, because it will, if you get the right line, it will run nice, because it will be one big sweep and turn all around, but I think the slightest error, you are not going to have the time to save it.
That's what I thought. When I was walking it, I thought actually it's been set out really nicely, because if you get the right line, it is one sweep and turn to the next sweep and turn to the next one. We'll see if we get the right line.
So of course, and what's your take on it?
For me personally, my thought is that's a TNT course, because it's so compact, and for the likes like me, Harry is such a big horse with a long stride, trying to keep your top speed but keep him also underneath as collected and making the turns, it's going to be a lot more difficult than it is on sort of like, what is it, 14-2 pony.
Well, that's why then in the course build there are those sweeping turns, which should, yes, it's a pony-driven course, and at that size it's always going to be. But by adding that sweeping, even the pony has to take a certain line now.
This is what I said to George and Lauren as well. I was like,
so you've been trying to build the course to benefit all the horses. Well, let's just put it that way, benefiting all the horses,
because
but also yours.
It also benefits the ground. It means we don't have to move on day 2. It keeps it safer. You're not doing those tight corners where you then, and which we've seen Indy and small ponies do, where they take a turn, they lose the back legs of grip.
To be fair to Tom, like especially that bottom corner, as you go around for the finish, as you cut across the diagonal and then cut back, if you hadn't put that extra gate in, that would be a nasty corner. So I think. It could be
if you got the wrong line.
Yeah.
But
it forces
you
a better
onto
line.
the right line.
we're all gonna basically be taking the same line.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, I mean, what you were saying to me,
Don't.
well, I'm going to
No,
tell you the
don't.
tactics. Jesus, no one else is going to do it. I don't think.
Come on in, team, just for me.
Well, I don't know. If we see limited edition, we know where they got it from. But so when we're coming on to the weave, what Annette wants to try is, because it's also tight, is take us through the chicane gate to then put us on to the next one. So we go deep, really deep, to turn back. So we think
weave through the chicane.
it's course B, all the way around and then in, but go through that chicane gate.
Oh, go deeper to put you in a mark. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I can carry my speed through there rather than having to slow up to get that
Oh, this could be a revolutionary moment. This could be a new thing. It's like the Fosby flop or whatever.
I think this course is really going to push. It's really going to push riders and boarders, and it's going to be. I think the teams that are really going to excel are going to be the ones that have got that gel and the team work together. Because if you've got one element slightly out, you're going to pay.
So it's a bit like East Anglia in the way that it's very tight in terms of the gate's going to come up really quick, except it's level.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ground's pretty good, unusually for Cheshire. We've got quite low. There's no heavy, thick grass anywhere.
There's a couple patches.
But you've not been here when it's been really bad, all right? When Aidan broke his truck, he's gonna love this. He'll be like, yeah, this is easy. But so just coming away from that slightly, I want to talk about the intermediates, and I know we don't talk about the intermediates very often because, the advanced.
And the intermediates. Let's talk about them in a second as well.
But the advanced, there's been a bit of a swap around on the teams. Obviously, Sendit Siblings absolutely storming away with it. We're just waiting for them to promote up into the elite. There's reasons why.
Literally can't waiting for Vanilla to turn 18, and it's like, you're elite.
Yeah, and that's it. No more choices. And they are going to race elite next year. And Josh is already racing elite now with Top and Tail. So the odds are, the guys. This is what you've heard here tonight. That would you say favourites for Top and Tails?
This weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh,
we're gonna battle. We're gonna battle, but also at the end of the day, what happens? And we saw it at Sandringham, right? That smaller course, we could have won it, but a tighter course with the power of Harry, one wrong move, and on that kind of attack, the board just goes.
It's your tolerance, isn't it? Your tolerance on the tighter courses is just less. You've got to get.
I've got more power coming through.
And that's what it is, isn't it? It's that massive amount of power that's coming through into the handle and
so we've got the ability as a team to do it. Once we've got the course kind of settled, it's Harry's weaker course B, which we're going to start on. But once we've got the day settled, and touch wood, no changes in weather happen, then we can start pushing that. But once we find that level with Harry, I become the limiting factor because of the power that's coming through. Because if I'm sat, for example, on a heel, and I ask the board anything other than what I've set for a corner, it's gone.
That's it, isn't it? And I like this. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, like, linking back to what we said about earlier, is it is like probably about 3 or 4 gates as one turn. You are going to have to choose that line so early and set that slide because you're not going to be able to make the adjustment. So now, whereas for us as developing, we're starting to get that 2-3 gates ahead. Now we're going to be forced into, you've got no option, because it's going to have to be gauge it, drop in, and just try and get that
I think this weekend is going to be probably the season highest of touches.
Touches.
So Tom.
Just wait for Tom to look down, Lloyd to read the chat. More tactics, haha. What? Who said that? Dan. What? Why are you making me read the chat?
Because Lloyd is watching.
Lloyd's watching! Right. Okay.
Super excited, really excited, Lloyd. Really genuinely excited. Looking forward to you coming back.
Not bitter at all, mate.
This is
It can all be settled in the arena.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things I was going to ask you though, Oren, is the last event. To me, you seem to be struggling with grip. Where are you at with that conversation? Because where are you at with that conversation?
So the first, I can't remember. Was it the first heat when we went out and I had that first spin on the final corner, or the second?
Yes. When you
When I set the
catapulted the cones
Yeah.
and the poles into the audience, that.
Yeah. So before we went in, I'm in an hour, and I think I was chatting to everyone about it. Border I was like, I think I should let a bit of air out here, and because we obviously did the practice the day before, and you could tell it was slick. And I was thinking, and again, this is probably where the inexperience comes in. I was like, well, no, I've gone out and practiced on this. I know what it's like. I've just done 2 runs. It's probably okay. And it wasn't okay. And it was just that last.
It was brilliant.
It was good.
It was brilliant,
It was
right
just-
up until that last turn.
Addy just started to accelerate right on the last turn, and I was already on the edge of grip, and it just, you can see on the video, it just goes from underneath me. And then after that, what I did, I went back to the bits, and it was out the tyres, and then I found the grip, and it was fine. The mistakes that sort of came from that weren't grip orientated, so the force following it weren't grip, it was various different issues.
I mean, that is the one that's stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
That's one that is seared into my mind, if I'm honest. Like, but that's where I would. That was what I was like, which is why I was saying about these mud pluggers anyway. So, the other thought that I had, which I now forgot, we're going to go back to the advanced. I want to talk about the advanced briefly before Tom sits down.
We need an ad break.
Okay.
So we're gonna go.
We're gonna watch an ad and then come back in a moment for a refill.
Try it. Not that one.
Hi.
So we're back. So that ad break was all because a camera battery was about to run out. So, and then now we are missing 2 of our people because one's gone for a wee.
I think that's, and the other one's gone to find them.
You can come into the camera view, Dan, if you want. Look, keep going.
No, go on, Tom. You talk.
You wanted to talk about Just Drag. So I will say, Just Drag as a season have done real. Hang on, you're not in camera, so we're talking.
Do you want to shut the door behind you?
They've done really well.
I'd say live in a barn, but she does.
Oh, this is all going back. We're all talking over each other.
Go on.
But they've started the season off steady. So Emily and Ro like almost a bit scared and trying to let it go, and then their season has progressed. Like, what's your thoughts on their season? Because we think we've seen a massive improvement in the rider-horse relationship.
100%. I'm really proud of her because I always thought that she did look very nervous. She was worried about sort of letting him go, and would she be able to collect him back when she needs to. And it's just really nice to see that progression throughout the season. And like we have seen it, when they get it right, they get it so right.
Absolutely, they've really gelled as a team, and they've had a few issues recently, but that's not necessarily the team's fault. It's just things that happen.
Well, let's.
They've been.
Let's talk about
before we come to the issue. The thing is, Sandringham was a different Just Drag. That was that they were a different team, and
the Sandringham
Trials Driving Festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. They had 3 really good heats. They got into a really good fight. You guys fought each other all the way up to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and you weren't even the main races, like which was brilliant. But like you really did get into a fight, and they performed really well. And what I noticed from Rolo is that, or Arthur, as he should always be known, is that it's a far better name.
No, it's not.
That he becomes more alive at speed. He becomes more responsive, and it reminds me that I've worked when I was riding horses in the film industry. There was horses that some people didn't want to ride, and but when you put them, because they were generally aggy ponies, but when you put them in a battle, all of a sudden they became alive. They became like real pinpoint machines. Like, what do you want me to do? I'll do whatever it is. And that's what it looks like. He turns into like a fight. He's like through the chicane, he's really sharp, and she's not having to fight with him at all.
It's sensory overload, isn't it? It's like
yeah.
at going steady pace, he's not challenged.
And he's not.
He's
really
like an ADHD pony.
Yeah.
You're asking a mundane task.
Yeah.
Absolutely never going to happen. You ask him to do. We've now got a deadline, so he's got to actually think about it.
Yeah.
And he's on the ball.
Yeah.
They have also put a lot of work in.
Yes.
Like
100%.
Sean's gone out, particularly on. He's been talking to him about going out on the e-board, and he was like, I want to get better at the heel side, and he said he's just going out and macking it at 30 on the e-board and just hitting those heel turns. We had this conversation, and he was like, I don't care if I ditch it or not. He's like, I'm going to hit it, and
Amazing.
and I'm sure Emily. Well, you can see all the time on Facebook, like she's out, like they're building that relationship even stronger, and obviously the medical stuff that's going on. Like they're putting a lot of work into the team, and you can see it. They're doing so well.
And so all things being said, they've been doing really, really well. Bowood was a little bit of a stone in the road,
You know all about those.
and there was a few a little bump in the road, and as we investigated it, we looked at all the angles, we looked at the photos, we looked at all the things, and it was broken down into there's a 1 in a million chance in the fall, which for those that haven't seen it, go back and watch Bowood Heat 1. It was 1 in a million chance. The board rider fell. In my opinion, the handle was still mid-air when he rotated and put the wheel through the handle. That's my opinion of it. Tom's is slightly different.
Yeah.
And
my opinion is not different. I think it again 1 in a million. The handle's been let go of, but if you watch the footage back, and like I've said to you and I've said to everyone else, it's not a bad style having the rope in the backhand, but if you watch the fall, the way Sean falls, and it was partly due to the way the chicane spits you out on a heel.
That was a nasty corner.
Yeah, it was a nasty corner, but as he falls, he's got the handle in his backhand, he falls, it's underneath him, and now what it's got to do to get away from him is travel through his body, but he's falling his board's on the wrong end, and that rope has travelled through him, well, past him, now to his board. If the rope had been in his front hand, there is even less chance that that's going to happen because it's pulling away from him instantaneously.
Either way,
it's not. It's 1 in a million.
Either way, it's still 1 in a million.
It's not a negative. It's not a negative on
No.
that boarding start.
And there was the reason that we investigated so deeply is because we wanted to make sure that it wasn't due to there was an error, but the error is only 50-50. That's all the video could tell us and the photos could tell us, because it wasn't necessarily that Emily did a bad release. We can't prove that she did a bad release, but also we can't prove that she didn't. But there's a 50-50 on that maybe the snap shackle had rolled over. I was speaking to Penny today.
Who's Penny? Just for everyone.
Penny is one of the original people involved with horseboarding and is in charge of the distribution of and the manufacturing of the harnesses. And we spoke about a potential redesign, because it's possible that after that 1 in a million, as Sean was lay on the floor being dragged, that this has turned the D over on the thing, which meant when Emily pulled away, which she did, and she put her arm to full extension, which is clear in the photographs, clear in the video, that the pin that she's pulling on that leash, it was upside down.
Yeah.
If he went over, it's potential it twisted the D over. So when she pulled, it went like that, and then it didn't.
That's
release.
not pulling the pin.
Yeah. So that's the 50-50, because also it could be she didn't hold on to it tight enough. We don't know. You know what I mean? So it's 50-50. At the end of the day, all the other things that happened, there was a lack of control. There was need for everyone to get involved. It was a very dangerous situation, which was thankfully resolved very quickly. However, they are sitting on double yellows now.
I must say, before we go on, like, we were stood, obviously I was strapped into my board watching this, and I was watching it go around, obviously heart in my throat for Sean and Emily, and then obviously it got resolved, brilliant, and then I see George trotting over towards me, and I'm like, that didn't happen. Like, we got to run now, and I think that is like, that it was a weird feeling. Like, we just watched your mate go through that, and then you're like, well, we've got to run now. Like,
and as I went through the audience into the arena, you could sense horror and shock within the audience, and the air being sucked out of the arena. Everyone's like, oh, this is really bad, really, really bad. And I've got to be honest, when I got back in the commentary box and I saw you guys come in, and you did, I don't know, quite a high race afterwards, quite a high speeded race. It was 28 something.
You said it didn't happen, and
it was a fast race, and I thought to myself, like, wow, it's like literally Lemon's just jumped off the cliff and another one's lining up.
That's it, innit? You've got it. Like,
that's the thing. It's, at the end of the day, we're in an extreme sport. And Ash Williams, she got injured.
That was a big hit.
It was a big hit, but like as a boarder and horse riders, I mean, you guys fall touch wood a lot less, but when it happens, it's still big. We saw Sue Scott at Bowood fall.
That was
quite a nasty fall, but like
ankle's still recovering.
You see, you're in an extreme sport at the end of the day, and you see that happen to someone, and you're like,
you just got
to
the switch.
But then when you hit the cone and the pole and somehow fly into the audience, and by that point I was ready to stop the show, go home, and call it quits for good. That's it. We're not doing it anymore. This is getting too dark. Because also when Sean fell, he also flicked a pole flying towards the
audience.
That was the first thing that I noticed. Before. I mean, the only other time we don't want to go too much into
we're going to talk about advanced and inters.
Advanced and inters, it's all been... So, in the advanced, 10 minutes. Well, never mind about the advanced. In the advanced, we've got Ascendant Siblings marching all the way home, champions, blah, blah, blah. We're going to win the championship.
Hold your horses, that's what we want to talk about.
Hold your horses. Ash had that big fall again at Bowood.
Well, let's
the
break
detail in
let's
We've got
break
10
that
minutes.
down. I know we got 10 minutes, but let's break that fall down. Ash has been holding on to a fast team that's going faster and faster. The team, in all of our opinions, can do 29. Needs to bring that speed down to slightly because they've done like 21,
Yeah, but they haven't
22,
29 with Ash.
23. No, not with Ash, but in general, they've done 21, 22, 23, and then 29. Now that's a massive jump.
Yeah.
So they just need to get the consistency in that, bread and butter of 24
There needs to be
26
20. Yeah.
area, as a general. The reason that most of us think Ash probably took a big fall is she went on a brand new board,
She changed the board.
Yeah.
and what she did, like, she crashed as she went over the start line. Well, didn't
Yeah.
even make it over the start line, but it was a big crash. Like, watch the videos, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Great start, but it's the equivalent of going from a Ford Fiesta to a Bugatti Veyron, putting your foot to the floor and trying to go round a roundabout. That's what she did.
Yeah,
And obviously
the board
it crashed.
acted very differently. It spat her out. It was the rotation. Where if you look at where she landed on her shoulder, that is a real impact. And Dale said that in the hospital, they'd said the injury was similar to somebody being hit by a car being sat in a car and then having a car hit them. That was the kind of level of injury.
Do we know, because obviously last I heard she's not broken but is on the recovery, is
Yeah,
there a timeline?
well, I believe it's soft tissue and
Tendons,
those sorts of things.
yeah.
But the point of all this, she's not ready to race this weekend.
No.
But Tom Rees, who has been working his way up the class and
We
the
love
category,
We do love Tom.
he's stepping into Hold Your Horses.
Yeah.
Now, my first reaction was, you look a lot like an elite team when you make that combination. However, we thought, actually, you need to spend a bit of time. But what we're going to get in the advanced still, just to really, because Tom hasn't been at that sort of speeds. He hasn't been in those mid-20s. So what is going to make that's going to make a really good fight for the advanced class. That was what
I
the
think
whole
so.
point of this was.
It keeps
You're
it
going to
relevant,
see
doesn't
Hold
it?
Your Horses
Yeah.
and Send Its Siblings under pressure for the first
And
time.
it really does. So, like, everyone here and within horseboarding and mountain boarding, in fact, will admit that Tom Rees is a excellent boarder. He's got all the skill in the world, but the difference, he noticed the difference, I think it was the first time getting behind Send Its Siblings, his first crash, where he slipped out, and then him going behind Hold Your Horses, hitting 29. One of the comments he came back to me was like, I've got a lot to learn here, because there is, and it does make it easier for mountain boarders to step into horseboarding, and horseboarders, it makes it a lot harder to step into mountain boarding. I don't know, you've done the e-boarding side, but the transitions are easier going up from mountain boarding, e-boarding into horseboarding.
Yeah.
It's a harder transition down because you've got that constant pull.
It is different, and like the way you put your weight, just a heel turn, is massively different because the horseboarders, a lot of it, like we hang off the board. And that on the e-board, which I've learned quite quick, is you can't do that. You want to keep that centre of gravity over the board, and you're using your feet and your hips to turn the board instead. So there are differences. I think Tom, I don't think it will take him very long to get there. I think he'll be able to.
Oh, no.
I think he'll be adapted to that quick.
And I think
you
even-
are right. There are differences because one little. I think he's quite similar to us in a sense, but almost concentrated in the fact that he's learning lessons at pace. Because there was one time when he was on Send It and he went round the corner and he had his first crash with them, and I went back and sat and watched the video with him, and straight away I saw what he'd done. And it was basically, he'd had the rope in his lead hand coming into the toes, and whilst he was in the turn, he went for the transition,
He told me that.
put it into his back hand, and it pulled the body round and tipped the knee. And it's like, although he is a god on board, and like hands down, I couldn't get anywhere near him. He's got to learn the lessons of how the horse and the rope works, and he is, and he's going to learn it very quickly. And I think next year he's going to be a threat.
Absolutely, and I would
But he's
say
got to learn those
even
lessons.
with Hold Your Horses, that one sort of HC run that they did, you could see him working hard as the board, where other boarders would have been destroyed, put out, and just like they would have been smashed up. He was able to, even in the points where he was going to crash, he was still controlling it, and when he did crash, he was still controlling the crash.
Yeah.
So it beat him, but
you can see the experience, can't you?
Yeah.
And he's not thinking about it. It's all intuitive from I don't know how many years. I think he said he's been riding for like 27 years.
That's the thing. At 29 miles an hour, you're still learning. The way of it is that you are millimeters away from an ending crash. Because in that crash will either end your season
or end your horseboarding.
Yeah, completely. And we've seen it, and that's all we want teams to do, is not jump the level too quick.
I don't think they are, because I was chatting to Tom on the way up, and they said like their game plan for Cheshire is to scale it back. Like they wanted to do that, they needed to do that, I think, for both parties to sort of experience it, go, look, this is what we can do.
He was keen for it. Tom was
keen.
really, really keen for it. So.
But they did chat to us, and Tom said, he's like, we're going to plan, scale it back a bit, let's get the foundation solid in a bit.
That's our observation. Yeah. That's exactly our observation, which is why I think they're going to have a really good weekend racing against Send It Simply.
I'm excited to watch them.
Yeah.
I'm going to... Oh, sorry, you're going to...
I was going to say, they say that, but I know Taz, she is a very competitive person. And I don't know, it's very difficult.
She doesn't need 29.
No, but what I mean is, like, I don't know, for me, like, I don't feel competitive until I'm beaten. And then you go out and then you're like, yeah, it's alright.
Okay.
But I think they can absolutely hold a fight with
absolutely. Are we putting bets on?
A time fight.
Are we putting bets on?
They're going to be pushing each other.
I think what was really
think this weekend.
Well, what was really interesting is the fact that when Tom went round on the back of Send It and beat Send It's time, I think what that shows is actually, even though Tom's probably 30 kilos heavier than Josh, no offence Tom, I'm not saying you got the muscles, but like he's a bigger lad, and everything in that concept says small pony, big lad should be slower.
Yeah.
The way he boards, because his boarding experience is light.
Yeah.
So actually, when you apply that combination now with a bigger pony, yes, the course here with it being tighter and shorter, it's going to be a really interesting mix.
It will bring those two ponies really close. You've got an ex-polo pony against Twiggy, and it's going to make
Twiggy. It's going to be so cool.
But the polo pony's quick,
sharp. Yeah.
So it's going to be a really interesting race.
It's probably going to
And
be.
it's got to be something you want to come and see
I
this
want
weekend.
I want to go on to just quick to wrap up. We've got a few minutes, but one to shout out Josh Walker Harris. This year, his boarding
insane.
Has come up massively, and he is, as his rank says, an elite boarder.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt. He is all the way there, an elite boarder. I think he's being pushed to the edge of his limit right now.
With top and tails.
Top and tails.
But I think Amy's doing a fantastic job of showing him the edge. She has, ever since she started boarding, she takes him to the edge of the cliff, like shows him, makes him look over the edge, and you see how dangerous this is. Be scared, and then brings him back. And every time it's just like, "Rah!" and then bring him back again.
I'd like to
she's doing a good job with him.
I'd like to see Josh start taking the backhand rope heel turns and put it into the front hand. I mean, me and Oren have had conversations about this.
Not about Josh, about me.
No, about your boarding.
Yeah.
And I think if Josh does that, he will find that his heel turns will become irrevocably easier over time. Don't try it all at once, like Jesus.
Yeah, well, this is what we're chatting about, isn't it? Because basically there was one run where we went through and I couldn't help but keep it in the front hand because we came up. Basically, we were on course A, start all the way around the bottom, looped through across the diagonal. And because of the speed we had, and there was a little bit of a kick in the board, I didn't have time to do that transition into the back hand. So I kept it in the front, went through the chicane and the 90 with it in the front hand, and I went, that felt easier.
Right.
And then I was on an eye, and I was chatting to Aidan and Tom and a few others about it. And actually, having it in the front hand does a few different things. If it works for your style, having it two-hand, it works. Like, I mean, look at Brian Roberts, absolute expert with it. But for me, and I think it depends on the horse you've got as well, which will link into why I don't think it's going to work with Addy, and I think this is why I'm getting tipped onto my toes. So with it in the, we'll go with it in two hands. Addy, especially with her extending her stride, has got real pull.
Yeah.
What's happening with me, really dissecting down, is when I'm coming out of that heel side turn and I'm in a good position, and then she extends that stride, boom, the shoulder comes round.
Yeah.
The shoulder comes round, drops the knee over the toes and gone.
Just pause there for a second. Just pause there for a second. The way to combat that is to push that back foot out and around, so that you're power sliding more on that back axle, and then you've got a more solid state. At the moment, you're a bit too much in line.
So I found that out
More
at the
like
end.
snowboarding.
Yeah, well, I found this out at the end of the last show when we were doing the last heat, because it was heel side into that bottom, and I was far more sat off the back, and all of a sudden it felt fine. So that was one element, but the other factor, which I'm half tempted to go, I'm really stuck this weekend, so we're going to see how I go, especially how tight it is that actually when it's in the front hand, the board behaves far more like an e-board. So when I go into the heel slide, because where the pull's coming from and where I can position my body, actually the heel side turn becomes like an e-board slide.
Right.
So not only am I further back from the horse, and I've got the e-board turn, I can choose a better line out, and I can slide it to what I'm used to on the e-board.
Yeah.
So on one hand I've got the two-hand method that I'm used to, and at the end of last show I figured out where my body weight needed to be to stick a big heel slide, and I was like, cool, comfortable. I also found out that actually this other method of holding it in the lead hand is probably more accurate to what I'm training more with e-boarding, and if I want to go faster, it's probably going to be better for me. So I'm like, do I make that jump on a short course where it's tighter turns with a technique?
You know what makes me nervous? What makes me nervous is because I remember from racing days all those years ago. What makes me nervous is when you're going into a turn and you're going, which one am I going to do?
Yeah. And it's going to happen.
I don't know.
So current game plan, not to give too much away, but current game plan is I'm going to hit the bottom end with two hands, because that was what I ended the last show on, and I felt comfortable going to the bottom at 26-28. So I'm comfortable with that position. It's a big sweeping bend, or was, we'll find out with this course. I think I got that, but going through the technical element, having that extra length on the rope and having the ability to slide it like an e-board, I think is going to benefit. So I'm going to go two hands into the bottom corner, cut across, toes into the 90, enter the chicane on toes anyway,
so this,
and then keep the one hand for the technical element.
So this is a sample that we're going to need for the live stream on the day to be able to drop that in as you're doing your pre-race skates.
Yeah. well, it'll be.
This is what I'm going to do.
It'll
Or
be,
have you in the corner, even better, have you in the corner of the screen talking about it as you're doing it.
Well,
you'll see it the most on.
Eventually, we'll be able
day.
to do this on the live stream, like actually take you through it. But the last wrap up, I wanted to just look at the intermediates, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We've got a few intermediates going.
They're racing hard.
Yeah, earned it.
Yeah.
One of them,
Earned it. I've got to be honest. Earned it. Now, earned it are earned it.
Earned.
No, is it earned?
No,
No,
Earned
earned
it.
it.
Earn it. Earn it. Earned it. Are looking very advanced, and they're
They are looking
very
advanced.
they are unfortunately they didn't have the greatest weekend at Bowood, but they are very close to being promoted up to the advanced
If they
class.
hadn't been vet checked out,
Yeah.
they would have moved up over that weekend.
But again, it's I think that was their third show ever. So I feel like
But they're doing really well.
they are doing really well. But obviously Tom has stepped in and stood in to be the boarder, because there was
So Tom Rees will be racing himself.
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
But that's part of the reason that makes them that level.
No, I know,
Do you know
but
what
I
I
think
mean?
obviously
If they want
the
to stay in the advanced, if
Yeah,
they want to
so-
stay in the intermediate, they should have George board for them.
Don't be harsh on George.
I'm just saying, like.
But I was gonna.
I think
I was
what next trying to say is actually that for
like,
that
don't
team.
run before you can walk.
Yeah.
They're
and-
advanced.
and
They're advanced.
It's I think for the team, that yes, although we know that having Tom allows them to run out, it allows Sahara to
She's
run
so
in.
nervous.
And
So
yeah.
nervous.
Exactly, which is good.
But they're not-
She might want to
early.
build her confidence
They're not
with
going
it.
to. They're not going to go to elite anytime.
Then they should do it slower.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think they'd be absolutely fine on the advance. I think they
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
kill it.
100%.
But it's got to be like it must be nerve wracking after only doing a couple of shows to then be like thrown at the next element.
Yeah,
and
so-
I
Yeah,
think,
but if you're smashing the intermediates,
I mean, that was the
Yeah.
first show
Which-
that they did that
yeah.
though. That was the first show that they smashed it.
that's
But
that's
that's where the-
that's the
has
point.
come
That's the
from
point.
dressage.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
has come from dressage, which is
Yeah.
collected, it's up on the
Oh,
spot.
this is 100%
and
different.
This, like,
I guess it's
completely
also the
Worlds
question
different.
about like it also does it add more relevance in which category they're racing in? Where are they going to be in a more competitive fight with the other teams?
And I think
so from a
advances-
show perspective,
Yeah.
But they're not there right now because they got vetted out at the last show.
and they're still
Which-
intermediate, but they are
They're
literally
on the
one
very
heat
solid.
away
I
from going
I agree
advanced.
that they do look like an advanced team, but again, I think
They're gonna
they've
score,
only got 2 shows left.
they're gonna
Let them
score
finish.
points. No, they're
No,
gonna
that's
score
not how it
points.
works.
They're gonna score points in the
That's not how it works.
Okay, so to bring it
We haven't got time to wait for people. Oh, finish the season. No.
To bring it
That's
back-
how good you are.
they will still earn their points if they get promoted now. They will still their points will
Their points will
cascade
travel
down
up. So they
to hang on, Dan.
yeah, go on.
Their points will cascade down into the intermediate class. So they're not losing out on the intermediate championship and what they're earning towards. It's just they put up into a class where it's harder for them to earn those points. That's that. But they
So
are.
they get 2 sets of trophies at the end of the season. Or what?
It's not
So-
me.
so
I'm just saying.
Personally,
I wanted to highlight where I was trying to get to. I wanted to highlight that, well, they've done really well. And then we've had Ice Ice Baby, George
Yeah.
Evans,
George has come out
Who-
phenomenal.
yeah, is watching us behind this camera. He's not actually here, but he's watching at home.
We all looked.
Yeah, he's watching at home.
Hi George.
But his boarding has come on. He's not. I will say this directly, George. You've not done as much as I thought you would, but he has come on tremendously. Well, no, and not for his fault. He was really ill at Sandringham. He's missed heats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
Sandringham was very poorly.
So that's
His lines have improved a lot.
yeah,
That's a
massively.
big
So it's not helped him that he's then been really ill for a competition. That's knocked a bit of confidence out of him with some hits. But his boarding is massively improved. He's not here this weekend, which is a massive shame because we love watching you board. Even though Miro now tells me you've got a tan on your legs, I just think you're dirty. Go and have a shower.
Well, I mean,
But
go on.
the big news is we have Jack Burton, the model,
Yes, I've been sending video.
the football man, who is now going to be boarding in George's stead. We've never seen him in a live competition.
No, Jack,
Ever before.
and I'm not sure he's got a release from the production team, has he? Jack Burton. I think he's required on the camera. But no, yeah, I saw a video of him boarding today. I've been sent that. So he's racing with Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, just talking about George, I was surprised that he didn't when he started boarding, that he didn't just, collapse like Mr. Glass or the Terminator once he's been in the Nitro. But he didn't. So
You can see he's looking more comfortable.
Yeah.
Massively,
yeah. And
like
they're getting a little bit of
Jason's
speed
gone-
on here
Yeah,
and there.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not-
Well, what was it? At Bowood, he went out in the evening and spent a lot of an hour or so
Yes,
with Reese.
Reese
And
Open.
yeah, the difference you saw the next time he came out.
By the way, 4 and 10, I think are the team to watch for next season,
Yeah.
if not the rest of this. I don't have favourites of anyone, but Reese and Sue are a team that I think are going to
Well,
really.
Reese picked that horse out of the field and went. He wasn't meant to
And it
race
isn't-
that horse.
it
He went,
hasn't- that
I
horse
like that
doesn't
one.
fit,
Bring it
yeah.
out of the field.
I love them.
and I'm interested. I mean, yeah, Sue's great on the horse. She's really good. I really like the way Sue uses her hands. I see her as she's got a really lovely set of hands when it comes to riding, and I think Reese obviously he's putting that work in. Bring that horse. I don't know how old the pony is.
I think she's 4, 5.
She's quite young.
Is that
isn't it?
all?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it's 5 or 6. Is it?
No, that's the younger. So I think is it Striker?
So Striker's the
Striker's the slightly older
Yeah.
one. I think he's 6
Is he
or
6,
7. I
But
think.
anyway,
There's a lot of potential.
On
Yeah.
that bombshell.
hang on that bombshell, we are going to say predictions. We're just okay. Section 89, Mr. Child.
I do think that it's a TNT course. You know what? I'm gonna go with TNT to come out on top. I know it's probably a bad thing to say in this room.
No, it's not that thing.
Not a bad thing.
No, it's not at all.
It's alright, you're not sitting around
I
the
think
fire.
they're gonna tip you. I do. I think they're gonna tip you.
Given a choice, what do I think? What do I think? What do I think?
Dan wants a limited edition win. That's what Dan
Look,
wants.
I mean, the thing is, we haven't seen the current current
Iteration.
denomination irritations.
Iteration.
Iterations of the elite teams with LA Bandito's version of limited edition. We don't know what they're bringing to the table. They're a complete wild card. But if we just take the acknowledgement that all teams, when they've not raced for a little bit, lose certain percentages, I think it's going to be extremely tight. And top, I would lean towards top and tails, but I think it's going to be given between you guys and top and tails, and it's going to be point nothing of a second.
Yeah. Well, it's your team. But what do you think of the weekend?
I'm already decided it's gonna be TNTs.
Okay.
So you're just
No,
going
you've
to
got
roll over.
Just defeated!
You're just going to roll over.
Stop
Is that what you're
it!
going to roll over, aren't you?
I mean, they can have one.